What's up, guys? I'm going to go over a quick review of this 2018 V6 SXT. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Help me get some views here. I'm going to go over this car real quick. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm sure everybody's already seen these things before. This is a 2018. I got this car for a rental. I took my car in to have some service done on it. Check engine light and have one of the buttons fixed. Check engine light's being pretty pesky is kind of driving me nuts. Luckily they gave me this car instead of a minivan like they did last time. First thing I want to say is it's actually a pretty cool looking car. Probably can't see it, but it's covered in mud from somebody else. They didn't bother to clean it, but oh well, looks like somebody had some fun with it. Looking under the hood, actually kind of surprised. Looks like it takes up a lot of the engine bay. I don't know if it's mostly just the plastics or not. I apologize, it's kind of hard to see. I'm inside of my garage. It does look like you could put a Hellcat intake on it, which is kind of cool if you wanted to do so. Go around the outside of the car real quick. It's your basic SXT. Looks pretty good. You know, it has the cheaper rims and tires on it, but pretty basic. We'll go along the inside. The inside reminds me a lot of mine. It doesn't seem like they've changed much since 2015. One thing I've never driven an auto. It's kind of cool. I still like shifting gears in that. It's just a little different, I guess, if you have all the extra bells and whistles. Like I have the big 8.4 touch screen, and I don't think I could ever go without it again. One thing I noticed too is this one doesn't have the garage door openers. Not a big deal, I guess. Doesn't have the blind spot detectors in the mirror and like the cross path detection on the rear end. But I guess that's what you get when you buy a basic one. These cloth seats, they're all right. I mean, I don't think they're the greatest, but they feel pretty good. They're pretty comfortable. This shifter is pretty neat. I'm sure you guys all seen how these things work. Put it in drive, you could push it over, then you can go up or down to change your gears. That's kind of cool. I think I would get bored with it pretty quick. But one thing is I know these things shift a lot faster than the manuals. I mean, even this V6, I mean, they're just real snappy when it comes to shifting, which is pretty cool. And the one thing I noticed I actually like is all this is like a brushed aluminum on here and on here, which looks really good. In my car, I don't even know what they call it, but it almost looks like a speaker. I know it's not a speaker, but it's like a hexagon material or something, I don't know, or honeycomb design, which I actually like this better. I wouldn't mind having it instead of what I have. You'll see later in the video, I took this thing out for a ride. I'm actually really impressed with how much power this thing has for a V6. I don't know if it's a combination of the V6 plus the automatic. I always hear those auto 8s are real beasts, and I could tell you with this car, I was a little disappointed when they gave it to me as a rental, but I was a little excited at the same time because I've never driven a V6 or even an automatic Challenger. So that was kind of cool. Killed two birds with one stone. Hopefully I don't have it long. I want my car back. I really like it. But other than that, I do have actually a new respect for these V6s for the power they put down. And in reality, I truly feel like this automatic V6 could probably give my manual RT a run for its money. And it would be fun to line one up with mine just to see how close they are. I know the horsepower's up there. It doesn't have quite the torque, and that's the big difference that you could feel when you punch it. But I mean, in reality, it puts you back in the seat, and like I said, I was expecting to be a real dog. I was expecting to kind of be embarrassed driving it, but it gets up and moves. You know, I took the traction control off. You can definitely break the tires pretty easily on it, which is cool. Other than that, we'll take this thing out for a ride and go from there. All right, so we're going to take this thing out for a ride. Check out the horsepower on this thing. First thing I noticed is the backup camera. Looks pretty good. It's a little smaller than mine, but looks like it'll do the job. I haven't checked to see if it had any backup sensors or anything like that. You have to excuse my camera work. I'm trying to hold my phone and drive at the same time, but at least this one's an automatic, so I could do so. And we'll take it out on the road here. Had to put my seatbelt on. I'll put that on stop sign. Overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with this car. Handling actually seems to be pretty good, and it seems like it has plenty of power. That's what's actually really shocking to me. Let me get the seatbelt on. Safety first. Oh, all right. All right, well, on the street here, we'll give it a little juice, a little go-go juice. Let's see what she's got. I'm gonna drop the hammer down. And it actually really puts you back in the seat for a V6. And like I said, I'm really impressed with the power out of this thing. The only thing that's strange, and I don't know if it's an issue with the car, or if it's an issue with the 8-speed auto, or if it's just the way it is. I'm not really sure. Maybe you guys can answer that. Whenever I go down and I put this thing into sport mode, like so you can see the little green flag, sport mode's on. Now, I don't know if you guys would be able to hear it or pick it up on the camera, but when I floor it, it kicks in, here out, revs out, stays. I got my foot off the gas, and right now it's still, 4,500 RPMs and slowly dropping. That's kind of nerve-wracking. I don't know if it's supposed to happen, if it's something that it's the way that it is. Makes me wonder if the 8-speed autos do it for the RTs with the 5.7 Hemi, or even the Scat Packs. I don't know. I don't know if it's normal or if it's actually an issue. I mean, this car only has 9,000 miles on it, so I don't think it's an issue, but maybe it is. And again, it only does it in sport mode. Maybe it's the way the gearing's set up, so that if you feel like pressing the accelerator again, you already have the RPMs up. I'm not really too sure. Other than that, the interior of the car, it's your basic SXT. It's pretty much to be expected. It's got the smaller radio. There's none of the convenience group like my car has. If I were to purchase a V6, which I probably wouldn't just because of the sound, I would definitely get it loaded. Probably something, I think they call it the SXT Plus. It has the actual Napa leather seats in it. These are just the cloth seats. Everything feels pretty much the same as my car does. This is a 2018 and mine's a 2015. I did take it around some curves. I ran it on the highway. It actually handles really well. I'm actually impressed. But one thing that impressed me most is this power. And I'm gonna punch it again. And you hear it, like I got my foot off the accelerator, and see how it's stuck at 5,000 RPMs? Don't understand why it's doing that. I mean, maybe that is normal. I don't know. But if I take it out of sport mode, I go back, sport mode's off, I'll punch it again, let go of the accelerator, everything goes back to normal. So probably has something to do with the sport mode. I personally don't like it like that. I really am not sure what sport mode does with the V6s. I did take traction control off. I did smoke the tires off a little bit, and again, I'm pretty impressed with the power this thing puts down. Other than that, I'm gonna run to Taco Bell, try to get some breakfast, and see if that stuff's any good. I've never had it before, but other than that, thanks everybody for watching, and have a great day.